Okay, welcome everybody to the Aftertaste. This is the extra portion of episode 4 of the Spicy Salsa podcast. So something new that I'll do sometimes, probably not all the time, but the reason I'm doing this, as you might have heard me at the end of my podcast, and if you didn't, welcome to this video. It's different. So is because Overwatch had a lot of announcements this week, and I didn't want it to take up too much time on the podcast, so I decided I'll just make one video of it, and it'll be at the end of the podcast, because it's very low editing. For those of you who don't know, or maybe are new to my channel, because some Overwatch fans might come into this, I don't generally edit my podcast very much because I got such little time right now. If I was a mainstream YouTuber, I probably would, but I'm not yet, and I got a lot of work, so scheduling prevents me from YouTubing a lot. I can't upload every day, so the podcast, I don't edit much. This won't be edited much. It's just going to be me talking. So anyways, let's get started. So this past a week and a half that I've been gone from YouTube now, we've gotten a lot of Overwatch information, so I'm just going to try to break it all down, hopefully within 10 to 15 minutes here. First of all, we got a new animation called Junkertown. The Plan is the name of it, and we knew a new Overwatch cinematic was coming. It's been in the works for a while. We've been talking about, but I guess when you really think about it, we always know there's another Overwatch cinematic coming, right? We know there's another one coming right now, and even though they were just released the May one, which we'll get to in a little bit here, we already know there's another one coming, so that doesn't really say a whole lot. But anyways, so this released last Monday. Today's Saturday that I'm recording this, and if you haven't watched it yet, go watch it. I'm not gonna spoil anything for these. The May cinematic, I might spoil a couple things, so be wary of that. But for this Junkertown one, I'm not gonna, because there's not a whole lot to say basically. But you know what? Just spoilers beware in general. So if you don't want spoilers, I highly recommend clicking off the video now. I'm going to try my best, but anyways, so the cinematic is, it's just a cinematic of Junkrat and Roadhog, and they basically get kicked out of this place called Junkertown, where the queen kicks them out. There's some queen, we don't see her, and this wasn't the cinematic for the week. This was just like an animation they did. It was pretty funny. It's very Looney Tunes style. They basically make this plan to, they go and they rob these or steal all this money, and they make this plan to put all this money on the payload, go in there, blow the place up, and or whatever, and then escape with all the money. And it's funny, it's ridiculous, it's very much Looney Tunes style. I recommend going to watch that. It's basically just Roadhog has to sit here and basically deal with Junkrat, who's just he's totally insane. He's kind of a buffoon. And you kind of think Roadhog is that, because Junkrat's coming up with the plans, but then at the ending, there's the twist or the pun where Roadhog's idiot, because he's being a dumbass. So that's funny. That's one thing that came. And then we got the May cinematic. Now the May cinematic, well, first of all, it was very good. They all are, though. We knew it would be. It's called Rise and Shine, and basically, it's the backstory of May. A lot of us knew the backstory of May already. They've said it, or at least vaguely. If you didn't know the backstory of May, then watch this video. It'll explain everything. But basically, she's working as a scientist on this project. I honestly can't remember what the project is. It's been a couple days since I watched this. And she's out in Eco Point, Antarctica, which is a map in Overwatch, and it's their research facility, and all these scientists go into cryo sleep, and when May wakes up, it's been 9 years, and all the other scientists are dead. She's the only one who somehow wakes up. I don't know if they I don't remember if they told us how. I remember watching and being like, wait a minute, why did hers wake up, or whatever, what happened? We don't really know. So that kind of sucks. and she basically is like, well, I got to get out of here because she's, it's been 9 years, so she's learning all this news, like Overwatch is disbanded, and she's talking to her little robot. I can't think of the name of it right now, and she's basically like, the robot shows her like this news and stuff, and they have very little power in the place. She's just basically trying to survive, and she knows she won't survive in this place if she doesn't figure out how to get out of there. And Overwatch can't come save her because Overwatch has been disbanded and villainized by all the people and stuff. So basically you watch May and how she builds her outfit for the cold, and her gun, the ice gun that she uses, and which is really actually cool to see. And then her little robot buddy, basically the power eventually goes out. He charges the place. He drains the rest of his battery, which I didn't think was very sad. Well, it was kind of sad, but I didn't think it was really that sad because I was like, couldn't you just take him with you and then charge him? Which she did end up taking him with him, and he's fully charged for some reason. I don't remember. I think she had she charged him somehow. There goes my microwave. I'm hungry. Anyways, and she eventually figures out how to escape and stuff. So it's very cool. Very good. Go watch that. Go watch all of them if you haven't watched the Overwatch cinematics. And I still hear people to this day say Overwatch doesn't have a story. Yes, it does, and it's such a good one. It's basically its own comic book universe. And I don't... sometimes I'm afraid to say things. I don't even know if I want to say that because there's going to be somebody, well, I don't like comics. It's okay, it's not... Well, there is a comic book series of it, and it is good, but just watch them. It's like, if you're into comics, you'll like it. If you're into superheroes, you'll like it. If you're into Disney or Pixar animation movies, you will like these, and you will probably like the story to Overwatch. Anyways, so this is gonna be probably, I would assume the longer segment, but this is the main reason. This is the main reason that I had to put this on the Aftertaste, because there's so much information that came out this week. It's fucking insane. First of all, Summer Games is coming to an end. Let me know in the comments what you got, or if there's anything you wanted but you didn't get. It might not. I don't know if it'll be over by the time I upload this. It's really close. I think it ends this Monday. I had a pretty good Summer Games. I got the skins I wanted. I got Sombra, Widowmaker. I had to buy loot boxes to get Widows though, so I guess that's not really a good Summer Games, but I got Soldiers. His was awesome. His skin is so fucking cool. It's just funny. I didn't get Junkrats. I kind of wanted his. Anyways, so I hope you had a good Summer Games, but now we're moving on to Season 6. And a lot of things got announced for Season 6. We will get to the Mercy and Deva changes at the end of the video. That'll be the last thing I talk about, but let's talk about the changes to Season 6. First of all, I'm just going to throw this out there because I wrote down, I always have notes when I do my podcasts, and I wrote down changes to one tricks, the formula to have less in Grandmaster. I don't know what I meant by that because I wrote this when it was announced a few days ago. Basically, with all these new formulas or these new changes they're making, right? One tricks will be less of a problem in Grandmaster. That is for sure. But I don't remember why that was. I don't remember where I got that thought from. So I'm just going to throw that out there for people. Maybe somebody can explain that to me again. I forgot where I got that from or whatever. But so first of all, they're changing the seasons to 2 months now, for now. They said that, well, in the beta, I watched Jeff Kaplan's video, the developer update for the changes to Season 6, and basically he was like, well, during the beta, when we tried competitive, 1 month was too short. People felt like they didn't have a lot of time to get to the place they really wanted to competitively, and when they first started, which was not last November, but 3 months before that, I believe, when they actually added competitive to the game, because the game didn't have competitive for the first 3, 4, or 5 months that the game was out, because they were working on it to make sure that it was good. And I remember those days when I first got Overwatch. I got it the first week it came out, and I just played quick play, but everybody was satisfied with that. It's funny how much of a sensation a game could be with just such little game modes, but it was just so different, you know. So they're changing it to 2 seasons. I think they feel like that's a good middle ground for now. They said it might not stay like that forever. They said or not 2 seasons, 2 months per season. They said that, or Jeff said, for when they first started, they did the 3-month thing, but they ran into a couple issues. For the most part, they had good results with it, but a couple things he said, and I'm just going to reiterate them really quickly because you could just watch his video and he'll explain it better. But basically, the peak point of people playing Overwatch is the beginning of the season. I can attest to this. That's when I usually play it the most because everybody wants to get ranked, so everybody's more competitive. So later in the season, when everybody's not competitive, it started to sound like a rhyme going there for so later in the season, less people are competitive, people stop caring, and I feel like that'll still happen, but I think they're just trying to get it so people come, you know, they have that rise, that influx of people more often. Not a bad idea. I'm personally okay with it. They said the competitive points, because if you remember, at the end of every season, depending on what your competitive points were, is how much you would get, or excuse me, depending on what your rank was, directly relates to the amount of competitive points that you will get. Holy crap. I don't know, that was so hard for me to get out. Sometimes I talk so fast and then I lose my train of thought. Anyways, so, for example, if you were in, like, I don't remember what what exactly the numbers are, but, like, if you were in, like, platinum rank, it's like you get 800 competitive points and you can use that towards a gold gun. So those are going to lower a little bit because the season is shorter, but he said, like, overall throughout the whole year, for example, like, let's say that you get before it was like you get 800 for platinum, you finished your season platinum, so you get 800 for that, and then now it would be like, well, now for platinum you only get 400 or 500. We'll just say 400, because it's only 2-month seasons now, so you didn't play as much. So, but his point being is that, you know, so now 6 months, it would be 6 months, 1,600. So in that same amount of 6 months, it would be 1,200. So the amount that you get is going to be pretty close anyways to the amount you would get normally, the amount you would get in 1 year. So it won't change much. It'll just change the amount you get per season, but it's not really going to change the amount you get throughout the whole year. I know that math that I just didn't really add up there when I thought about it, but that's what he's saying. I'll take his word for it. It seems to make sense to me, at least when he says it. So there, he also said that for the highly skilled, highly competitive players, the ones who are at the top, like Grandmaster and stuff, couple things. One, and this really applies for everybody, but he's saying that this will probably affect higher players more. Matchmaking times will be longer, waiting times, because they're going to implement a system where the game tries to pair you up with people who are more akin to your skill, so you won't be getting in games where you're just totally squashed, and you won't be getting in games where you totally do the squashing as often. There'll be more competitive games, and that's the whole reason for this. I'm personally okay with this. I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, come on, I hate the fucking waiting process. I don't really mind waiting for a match to pop up. It doesn't bother me. I'm usually like on my phone or something, or studying Overwatch while I'm doing it. I study the crap out of Overwatch, and I'm still not that great at it, which is sad. But anyway, so yeah. Along with that, there's changes coming to decay and rank. This is for people who are diamond or higher. If you get to diamond or higher, you know that you have to play at least 7 games in 1 week to not decay your rank. And if you do, your rank will, or if you don't meet those requirements, your rank would decay by 50. They say that they want to work, or I keep saying they. It's really Jeff is saying that him and his team want to work on possibly kind of getting rid of Decay or making changes to it in the future, but for now, to ease that pain, so to speak, for those people, they're going to lower it, so you only have to play 5 games a week, and if you don't meet those requirements, it's only 25 CP. That's not so bad. I think that's a lot better. I've been Diamond rank, I believe, once, but I never had my rank decay. I'm not that high in the Overwatch rankings, which I'm getting better at it, but sometimes I wonder if my teammates are. You really do got to play with, use communication a lot in Overwatch. It's just such a team game, and sometimes I don't do that because it's so toxic, and so that's one of the reasons I'm not super high up. I'm just defending myself, and you guys don't even know my rank. It doesn't matter. I don't even know my rank right now. I'm just so competitive that I get prideful, and I feel like I have to defend my rank or whatever. Anyways, so that's there's that. Now, to end this, the aftertaste here, we're going to talk about the Deva and Mercy changes. Now, Deva's I don't know a whole lot about. I haven't seen her footage yet. I should have watched it before this, but we'll probably talk about it next time too, because they're probably going to change both of them a little bit because they're in the PTR right now. Now, let's start with Deva because, once again, like I said, I don't have much to say because I didn't look into it much. Deva is supposed to be getting like little rockets now, I believe. They want to make some changes to her defense matrix because basically there's no skill in defense matrix. I can literally block like pretty much all of Tracer's bullets with a defense matrix, because and I would tell people like I've been good with Deva recently, and I never play Deva, and the reason why is because she doesn't take that much skill, and before her defense matrix hasn't changed, so you're probably like, well, if her matrix hasn't really changed in terms of updates and stuff that they've given to her, how did you all of a sudden get good? I just realized how good it was, when they started using it in the pros and using it a lot more to block things and whatnot. So I was like, oh, well, this is easy, block that Tracer shots and then block the far or whatever. It's really easy. So they're making changes to Deva, specifically the defense matrix, but there's a couple other things yet. Like they said, I just said it, the missiles, there's like a little mini missile thing, so I don't know what that looks like yet. I'll have to take a look at that. I apologize for that, but let's move on to Mercy, because I have seen Mercy game. Oops, hit my new Yu-Gi-Oh tin I bought today. Mercy has, I did watch Mercy gameplay, and she is insane right now. I do not think I would be surprised if all of the changes they've made to Mercy in the PTR right now go through, because Mercy is a beast right now. She can fly she looks like a modded character just flying around the map. Now that part I could still see them doing, but there's other problems. For one, it looks to me like her gun doesn't need to reload now. That's what it looked like to me. So she can just fly around and shoot shit. Her battle skills are insane for a healer. It's not like they do a huge amount of damage, but it is an increase. It looks like it's either an increase in damage or it's an increase in speed. I can't remember, and I couldn't tell from watching the video. And so increase in speed would be more damage accumulates quickly. But I was watching people like fly around, shoot things and kill that, and then heal somebody, and then use their ulti, and then her ultis would her ulti does a lot of things. I think it increases her gun now. Something about her gun at least, and she can also, like, when she shoots her beam, like her healing beam at somebody, it chains to everyone around them, kind of like Orisa's ulti does. When you're near it, it chains to all your teammates, so it chains to all your teammates around you, and you're healing all of them. Or you can use what's it called, attack boost on all of them, and it's fucking insane. And then because they changed, so that's her new ulti. It's no longer res. Res is now an ability, which I actually liked the idea of that when he said it. But even that is a little like, I don't know. So the way that res works is that it's on a 30-second cooldown now, which is a long cooldown. It is of course it's going to be a long cooldown. And then you could just like go up and you can res one teammate at a time. So, and it'll show you on the screen like which teammate it'll be. It puts a little circle with a portrait of their character, so you know which one you're going to be resing. And that's what I like about this. It'll be interesting to see, like, you'll have to think to yourself, like, well, okay, you've got 3 teammates down. Which one do I need to res now, or should I? And if I should, which one should it be? Personally, I feel like a lot of the times you would go with tanks, because then they can sustain the fight out longer, and a lot of the other characters, like Tracer and Soldier, and even Doomfist, he can uppercut and fly across the map. A lot of those characters can get to the point a lot quicker than some of the tanks can. I know Deva has first of all, if you res Deva, she might not have her mech. So, she won't have her mech, but I don't know if she's guaranteed to get her back into her mech if they revive your ulti when you get resed. So there's that, but she can fly to the point. And then you've got like Reinhardt. He can charge all the way there, but sometimes you run into something, and it's not the best method to get places quicker. Roadhog's slow as shit. So I would imagine that you'd want a tank to sustain the fight, and plus it takes them a lot longer to get there. And tanks just have all that, especially if it's a tank that has armor like Reinhardt. That armor will help create some extra time, and you can heal him after that. So. But anyways, so that's the thing I like about it. But yeah, like what I don't like so far is that it seems like we're in a place that in the PTR where it's like, when would you not want Mercy? And I was watching the Your Overwatch team YouTube channel that I watch sometimes, and Frito was talking about this, and he brought up a very good point. And that when would you not want Mercy? Because she can res somebody every 30 seconds, which means you're always going to be wanting to take out the Mercy. Because if you don't, the enemy team's just going to be back really quickly. And on top of that, her ulti is insane. She can battle now, fly everywhere, so it's really hard to hit her. And basically everything that she was good at before is amplified. Now, that to me sounds like a character that's an Uber tier. Fucking I'm trying to Meta Knight in Smash Bros. Brawl, he's just better than everyone else, or something like that, but even worse. I think that Mercy is too strong right now in the PTR. I do agree with that. I think they'll nerf a couple things. Like I said, I would be surprised if they didn't before it hits the main thing, the game. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking that maybe they could extend the cooldown that way that she's not constantly reviving people, and it is a little bit more of because she's currently still not constantly reviving people, but I think that in order to make death more of a punishment, because right now it's not if just one person dies on your team, it's not a huge punishment if Mercy can just go right up there and res them, and also if you had 2 people die on your team, that would be so before, this is another point that Frito brought up. This is what I'm trying to get at. So on Hanamura, for example, what I like to do is I like to take Hanzo, I like to go up in the window, get a kill with his scatter arrow, and then run away, and then my team can collapse in, because then it's a 5-on-6 situation. We have the advantage. That gives us an advantage. Well, now with a Mercy on their team, if I don't kill the Mercy, then if I kill the Mercy, then it's fine. It would probably be the same thing. But if I don't kill the Mercy, she can just res them right away anyway. So now what you're looking at is a situation where you have to kill either the Mercy or you have to kill 2 of them. And Mercy's harder to kill now because she can fly around everywhere. So it's a little OP right now. It basically takes that strategy away. I think they will change it. So in order to make death more of something that it still feels like it has to be a punishment, because you should be punished for dying. That's the whole name of the game. You die, then they're going to run into your base. So try not to die as much as possible. Well, now it's you don't have to try as much to die, because you got this Mercy on your team and she can just res you. So I bottom line, I think they're gonna nerf her just a couple of things to tinker with here and there. She should be in the game soon, anyways. Hopefully in time for season 6, which is just a couple days away. But anyways, thank you for everybody who watched the podcast, and thank you for anybody who watched my first iteration of the Aftertaste, which is the after part of the podcast. And have a good season 6, and I hope you had a good summer games. I'm really looking forward to season 6, which actually, now that I think about it, I forgot to mention, they're making it so that they're not gonna, when you get ranked this time, they're not gonna put you in a place where you're lower than you should be so that you can work your way up. I'm happy they're doing that. I actually didn't like that about season 5. But anyways, thank you everybody for watching, and happy Overwatching, if that's what, is that a phrase? Is that a phrase? Happy Overwatching.